can dramatically affect a company's bottom line. I mean, if you were to look up the word worry in a dictionary of origins, you'd find out that the original meaning is to strangle or choke. And worry in an organization, whether it's about job security, performance, the economy, or whatever else it might be, can cause your organization to choke financially. You know, another way of looking at it is this. When you find yourself in a high-pressure situation, how you deal with that pressure will ultimately determine whether you win or lose. And the CALM process provides the coping strategies for managing worry so that when you find yourself in those high-pressure situations, whether they're personal or professional, that you'll have the coping skills to prevent a choke. The CALM process is really a 4-step process that will help you to eliminate worry and cultivate inner peace. It's simple, yet it's profoundly effective.
What she has to say is so powerful and so easy to follow that it's not a complicated process. It's something that anyone can do in order to relieve their stress and worry. She's come up with a great formula.
Now, this 4-step process that I've been talking about is actually called the CALM process, because each step starts with a letter in the word calm. And this will be helpful to you because the next time you're worried, you can remind yourself to calm and follow each of the 4 steps. The first step, the C, stands for challenge your assumptions. And the reason we need to continually challenge our assumptions is they're often wrong. To show you what I mean, I'm going to ask you a series of 3 questions. And all you have to do is answer these questions out loud and as fast as you can. Are you ready for loud and fast? I don't think you are. Are you ready for loud and fast?
Yes.
What color is this paper?
White.
What do cows drink?
Milk.
No, they drink water. Can you believe you did that? The reason for these questions was simply to show you that no matter how smart, capable, or competent you are, your mind makes mistakes. It can be tricked. So we need to be on the lookout for these mental mistakes that we make so that we can catch them and then correct them before they cause us to worry. Move on to the next step in the CALM process, and that's the A. And the A stands for act to control the controllable. When you take action to control the things you can, it puts you in the driver's seat of your life. So what do you do while you're challenging your assumptions, taking action to control the controllable? Well, the next step is to move on to the L, and that's to let go of the uncontrollable. So a really good reason for wanting to learn how to let go of worry is that holding on to it can wreak havoc on your body. Holding on to worry can wreak havoc on your body. I'll tell you one of the ways that worry wreaks havoc on your body. Did you know that worry can actually cause you to store fat? Now look, people think, that explains it. The last step is the M, and that means you need to master your mind. And this is where you're going to guard against your own negative thinking. You're going to learn to talk to yourself constructively instead of destructively. And by doing so, transform yourself from a worrier into a warrior.
As a speaker, my philosophy is when you're laughing, you're learning. So I use a lot of humor in my presentations. The stories I tell all come from my own life experiences. I find that audiences really appreciate that because it's real and it's fresh and it's something they can relate to.
I just think she engages the whole audience. She uses her humor. She uses personal connections with the audience.
I really liked her, even though she didn't specifically refer to it, her use of humor.
In stories of confidence, I think she helps. When I hear her speak, I find that it helps build my confidence. By hearing her, she's not afraid to tell you when she's had some failures.
One of my goals 7 years ago was to speak to a celebrity. Now, it sounds kind of cheesy, but it was very important to me because of what had happened on my trip to California. I guess it was about 15 years ago now. See, that's when I met Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, I should say what didn't happen when I met Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was standing in the Los Angeles airport, and I wanted so badly to talk with him, but I let my fear get in the way. And I'll tell you, I regretted it ever since. And so I vowed on that very day that I was never again going to let opportunity walk on by, especially not when it looked that good. So I landed in California with a plan to achieve my goal. I knew I needed a plan. It wasn't very likely that I was going to meet someone famous just lying around the hotel swimming pool. So here's what my plan was. My plan, I thought it was pretty good too. My plan was to eat dinner at the restaurant that had the most paparazzi outside. That restaurant turned out to be Spago in Beverly Hills. And I remember the evening as clearly as though it happened last night. I'm telling you, I'm walking through this restaurant, trying to be cool, trying to be hip, trying to blend in with these people from Beverly Hills. The whole while my head was bobbing around looking for stars. And so when my husband and I were finally seated at our table, do you know who I saw? No one. I got a little disappointed, and the waiter came over to take our drink order, and I said to him, "Is there anyone famous here tonight?" And he said, "Yeah, Sylvester Stallone is sitting right there."
Her story about Sylvester Stallone and, you know, purposely going out of her way to meet somebody and to take that risk, as silly as she said it was, I think really has a lot of, I think it's going to stick with me.
Oh my gosh, Sylvester Stallone was sitting 2 tables away. Now is my chance to squash that regret and fulfill my goal. And so I took my napkin off of my lap and I put it on the table and I said to my husband, "I'm going over to meet Rocky." And then that fear got the better of me. I thought, okay, well, what if Rocky doesn't want me to meet him? What if he embarrasses me in front of all of these people? Or what if I embarrass myself? And so I took the napkin back off the table, put it on my lap, and I said, okay, no, I'm not going. And then I could feel that regret inside of me again, and I didn't want to live with that regret. So I said, "Denise, you got to do this." I took the napkin off of my lap and I put it back on the table. I said, "Okay, now. Okay, no, okay, now, okay, no, okay, now, okay, no, okay, now." And I had this battle with this poor piece of table linen.
Caught it, and I caught it, and I caught it, and I caught it, and she went back and forth. And then she finally said, "No, I have to do it." And you could see how she lit up when she talked about that, and it just resonated right back home.
And I said to myself, "Denise, you got to do this. Don't worry. Take the risk." And so I took that napkin off of my lap. I put it on the table. I confidently stood up. I confidently made my way over to Sylvester Stallone. And I confidently put out my hand to shake his. And I said, "Wow." You know, I really was, really and truly, a complete idiot. But you know what? I didn't fail because I didn't allow the fear to get in the way of my taking the risk.
That would probably be one of the aha moments, and there's certainly more. And I think what's interesting for me is the sense I have is that I'm going to have a few more aha moments a couple days later, which I think sort of speaks volumes to the, you know, not only the presentation but the content as well.
Denise gave things that you feel you can go home and start on. Sometimes you come and listen to people who are like Denise. They're very articulate and very professional, and you're thinking, well, she can do it because she's like that, but there's not much hope for me. But I came away thinking, yes, I can do that. And the way she ended was saying that you deal with worrying one step at a time and one worry at a time, and also one strategy at a time. I came away thinking, this is manageable. I can do this.
Just like changing the entire world, one person at a time, you can transform from a worrier into a warrior. One worry at a time, one step at a time. Thanks for being here.
A huge impression on me is that she's obviously an expert. And it's so lovely to have somebody on stage that knows what they're talking about. I've been in presentations before where I come away from there thinking, yeah, I knew that. And I knew some of what she was saying tonight, but it was so fresh, it was so dynamically presented.
I'm Denise Marek, and I help an organization to grow its bottom line and to create a phenomenal working environment by reducing the amount of worry that their clients, their employees, and even the business owners themselves experience. And I empower individuals to really live more abundant, fulfilling, and balanced lives by showing them how to transform worry